Folks, this is incredible. Just when you thought that the Edmonton Oilers, who were carried to the Stanley Cup Finals last year on the backs of Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Evan Bouchard, and to a lesser extent Stuart Skinner, just when you thought that that same cast of guys was going to do it again. Just when you thought that facing off against the LA Kings, a team that they have defeated in the playoffs first round the past few years, just when you thought that the Oilers would come into LA and do it all over again, you got yourselves a pull and switch situation, because now we're talking about the Oilers. They are down 2-0 in their LA series, and the vibes, they're not good in Edmonton right now. Everybody's complaining about the defense, everybody's complaining about the goaltending, everybody's complaining about the lack of star power in yesterday's game. You can say that McDavid and Draisaitl are doing what it is that they need to be doing, but when they don't have themselves a hat-trick 5-point night, what are the other guys doing? This is why the LA Kings have a 2-0 series lead against Edmonton, scoring 12 goals in the first 2 games of the playoffs. The Oilers have been an embarrassment these past 2 games. Okay, maybe the first game wasn't that bad. They came back, they made it interesting, it was 5-5. But then Stuart Skinner with the knuckle puck special let in a Philippe Deneau whiff of an opportunity right out in front. Fantastic. Game 2 was yesterday, and Stu Skinner ends up getting the boot. He lets in 5 goals on 28 shots against, and he finishes off the night with an 8-2-1 save percentage. The fans in LA chant, "We want Skinner," and the question now is, just how bad has it really gotten for this player, and how bad is it really for the rest of the Edmonton Oilers? This is a meme that everybody has been going out there and posting. I think it was posted by Puck Empire initially, but Stan Bowman was asked earlier in the season if he would trade for a goaltender. He said no. The Oilers and their management were speaking out earlier in the season about how they were confident in their goaltending. And the idea behind that, I guess, if you wanted to label it out, it's like, okay, Stu Skinner helped the Oilers make the finals last year. And he also had a .914 save percentage 2 years ago. This is a guy who worked his way up in the Oilers organization in Bakersfield, doing his thing. He got a .914 save percentage. He then made the Stanley Cup Finals the next year. This year, he gets himself an .896 save percentage, though, and now in 2 games in the postseason, he's got an .810 save percentage, going 0-2-0 and getting embarrassed by the LA Kings. This is where we dive into some of the extra commentary. Because on the Our Hockey subreddit, you have Justin Graham going out there and posting a brilliant post that I'm going to leave a link in the description to so you can read this yourself. We're going to read it here, but it's a really long one, so obviously this is going to be the main focus of this commentary. The question is, how bad is Stuart Skinner really? There's been a lot of contradictory talk about how much Skinner versus the Oilers skaters in front of him are responsible for Edmonton being down 2-0 against LA. So I decided to review the tape and the stats to determine where the accountability really lies. A. The goals saved above and below expected stats. In 2 games, Stuart Skinner has conceded 11 goals on 58 shots, which works out to a save percentage of 81%. That's the 4th lowest save percentage of the 17 goalies who have seen action in the playoffs to this point. However, if we increase the minimum number of shots faced to 20, which excludes Pickard, who has a save percentage of .66 on 3 shots, and Vasilevsky, who has a save percentage of .62 on 16 shots, then Skinner is the 2nd worst, just ahead of Linus Ullmark, who has a save percentage of 80%. That being said, MoneyPuck has Skinner as comfortably the worst goalie in the playoffs with respect to goals saved above expected. Skinner's expected goals against is 6.32, so the 11 he has conceded puts him at negative 4.7. Ullmark, who has conceded 9 goals against Toronto, has an expected goals against number of 5.6, which puts him at a minus 3.4. What this stat essentially means is that based off of the quality of chances that LA is getting on Skinner, Skinner probably should have let in 6.32 goals up to this point. And this is where these expected goals against numbers get interesting, is because, okay, if Skinner has only allowed 5 goals, for example, that means that he has saved a full goal .32 above expected based off the quality of chances that he is giving up. But because he has let in 11 goals, it means that he has actually let in more goals than he probably should have let in. 4.7 is a terrible absolute value of goals to be giving up in the span of 2 games. For reference, of the 103 goalies who saw time in the regular season, irrespective of games started, MoneyPuck.com ranked Skinner 65th overall based on goals saved above expected, with a minus 1.5 rating. If you increase the minimum threshold to 10 starts, Skinner ranks 47th out of 73, which is a bit more to the middle of the pack. However, this still accounts for a lot of backups. Skinner started 51 games, which firmly puts him in 1A starter territory. If we increase the threshold of minimum games to be played, Skinner's stats start to drop off to the end of the list more quickly. For 20 games played goalies, he is 41st out of 61. For 30 games played goalies, he is 33rd out of 45. For 40 games played goalies, Skinner is 24th out of 30. And for 50 games played, he is 18th out of 22. This guy is one of the 5 goalies who have a negative goal saved above expected with more than 50 starts. So what is he doing so poorly in the playoffs? This Reddit post then dives into an entire diatribe of high danger, medium danger, and low danger shots faced. And the conclusion here is not good when you're looking at any of these categories. In fact, Skinner is the 3rd worst goalie in the NHL playoffs on low danger chances, and he's the 16th out of 17 goalies when it comes to medium danger chances. The post says here that it's interesting that Skinner is not doing well on high danger chances, but is really bad on low and medium danger shots. MoneyPuck doesn't have a clutchness statistic, but you could reasonably say that a goalie who makes saves on dangerous shots but doesn't on relatively easy shots isn't clutch. That jives with what we have seen of Skinner this year, especially on the game-winning goal in Game 1. The article then does something really interesting and talks about every single one of the goals that Skinner has let in so far. Game 1. On Goal 1, this poster doesn't blame Skinner. On Goal 2, he does blame Skinner. On Goals 5 and 6, the dagger by Philippe Deneau, Skinner is blamed here. And then there are some more blaming Skinner goals in Game number 2. I blame Skinner on 2 out of 5 goals in Game 2, and for the 5 of 11 he has given up over 2 games, which matches with MoneyPuck's negative 4.7 goals saved above expected number, this poster writes. The conclusion is down here. Skinner's not doing super well, but the Oilers' D is also playing poorly. Skinner's tracking, not great. He doesn't use his frame to cut down angles, and he plays really tentatively. His lateral and backwards movement, which you can see in other plays that don't result in goals, is also weak. I haven't played goalie at any level above beer league, so take what I say with a huge chunk of salt, but you can see him trying to figure out what to do in real time instead of reacting. I don't know if this is a vision thing, an IQ thing, or a quick twitch thing, but it's not something that can easily be resolved over the course of a playoff run or a single series. This seems to be who Skinner is. I don't think the Oilers are cooked since they have the best 2 players on the ice, but those guys can't play 60 minutes. We also saw the Oilers look like total dog water at several points last year, but they still came within 1 goal of winning the Cup. But if they want to win, Skinner cannot be starting for them next year. Over the last 3 playoffs, Stuart Skinner has a negative 14.79 goals saved above average, which is 39th out of 39, and a negative 8.5 goals saved above expected, which is last of all goalies to play a game. I feel like this is the TLDR. Yep, I was looking for this. So even though Skinner might not be dead last in every single statistic in goaltending this year in the playoffs, he is really far down there. And if you sum everything up over the last 3 years, this is where Skinner is literally last. This is the worst goalie in the Stanley Cup playoffs by far, and we now have some of the stats to prove it. Oy, this is so embarrassing for the Edmonton Oilers. They thought they could rely on this guy, but from 2 games here, down 2-0, it looks like they can't. Now, I did have the LA Kings going to the finals in my bracket, so I'm kind of flying high on this. But I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Stu Skinner and how everything has gone down for him the past 3 playoffs and in the past 2 games here? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.